The NFL MVP race is a real tight one, and a lot of people have been talking about it lately. And it's very controversial, I think, because I'll get into it in just a second. But this report came out with their odds to who's going to win the MVP in their eyes, and currently they have Aaron Rodgers at number 1, Brady 2, Stafford 3, Jonathan Taylor 4, and Patrick Mahomes 5. What do you guys think of that list, and who would be your MVP this season?
Well, the first thought that comes to mind on this is Jonathan Taylor should probably be first.
That's what I was
thinking. This guy is on a tear.
Yes,
he's having an unbelievable season.
Legitimately the most valuable player on that team.
See, that's what I was thinking. It's like, I was thinking about the MVP, and I'm like, okay. I mean, yeah, maybe Tom Brady. He's a great player. Tom Brady leads the league in passing yards. He leads the league in passing touchdowns. Mm-hmm. He has an obscene. I mean, he's like over 4,000, probably almost 5,000 passing yards.
4,348.
Yeah, so he's got almost 4,500 passing yards. He's got 38 touchdowns, I think.
36. Yeah,
38.
36.
So that is a obscene amount of yards and a lot of touchdowns. But what I'm thinking is, if you take Brady away from the Buccaneers, they would be below average, not terrible, but they would not be great, obviously.
Yeah.
If you take
Jonathan Taylor.
Well, not even Jonathan Taylor. If you take Aaron Rodgers away from the Packers, they are awful.
Yes,
and we saw that already, once or twice this year? Mm-hmm. They are bad.
Yeah.
If you take away Aaron Rodgers, they are a bad football team.
Yeah.
The Colts, if you take away Jonathan Taylor, I guarantee you they're not as good as they are.
Before this season started, or not before this season started, but earlier in the season when Jonathan Taylor wasn't having the numbers he's currently putting up, they did not losing a lot of games.
The Colts were, I think at one point in the season, they were 0-4.
Yeah.
0-3 or 0-4.
Yeah,
until Jonathan Taylor started going off and they started giving them the ball, they were losing games. So, I think in my eyes, the MVP is Jonathan Taylor. But it is a quarterback award.
It is a quarterback award.
Unfortunately, it is a quarterback award, which I don't think is totally fair.
No.
I don't think that's fair, but unfortunately that's how it is. So I would probably say, I like Tom Brady a lot, and I like what he does. But I'm just saying, an MVP is your most valuable player. It would almost have to be Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Again, it was just him last year, but I think it almost has to be him again. Because We saw what the Packers are without him, in 1 or 2 games this year.
The drop off
they had Jordan Love.
From him to Jordan Love is very
insane,
very large.
The Packers are bad without Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
So I think if you're giving it to a quarterback, I think it's Aaron Rodgers. Tom Brady has the better stats, actually by a pretty good amount. He has Rodgers in almost. He has Rodgers in pretty much 1,000 passing yards, which is a lot.
Yeah,
he has him by 6 to 8 touchdowns.
He's thrown more interceptions.
He's thrown more interceptions, but with the amount of yards and touchdowns he's thrown, you're gonna throw more picks, So I think Brady has Rodgers in almost 1,000 passing yards. He has him by 6 to 8 touchdowns.
Aaron Rodgers
his stats are there.
Aaron Rodgers is second in the league in QBR, and Tom Brady's 4th.
Yeah. So, Aaron Rodgers is more proficient, obviously, because it's showing here. He's completion rating 68 compared to Brady's. It's not that much of a difference.
It's a 1%.
But that's still.
Also, if you think about it, the receivers and the people that Tom Brady is throwing to are a lot better than the people that.
Well, I think Devontae Adams is
probably the best
receiver in the NFL.
Other than Devontae Adams. But after Devontae Adams, who do they have?
I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Valdez.
Valdez Scantlin. He's good.
He's okay.
He's big.
Yeah. He's a touchdown guy.
They have Alan Lazard, who's solid.
Is he playing?
Yeah, he's playing.
As
far as I know, I'm pretty sure he's playing. He's a big dude.
But then would you rather have Chris Godwin? Mike Evans.
The Bucks definitely have better weapons for sure.
Who's your third receiver?
Brown.
Antonio Brown, right?
Well, Brown's suspended. So they have Scotty Miller, who's
Antonio Brown still.
Scotty Miller is kind of their fast dude. He's like a little short dude, runs like a 4.3 or something like that. So
so you take the Bucks weapons over Aaron Rodgers?
I would take the Bucks weapons over Aaron Rodgers. That's for sure. So that that has something to play in it, because that's just what I'm thinking. I think they might give it to Tom Brady, just because of his stats are pretty good. Those are pretty flashy stats. So I think they might give it to him, and I'm okay with that. Tom Brady is.
He'd be probably the oldest MVP ever, right?
He's 44. He'd have to be.
I'd say so.
I mean, Tom Brady is probably the best. I mean, he is probably the best quarterback to ever play football.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm not going to complain about them giving him the MVP.
Yeah.
I just think, however, this year it probably should. This year, it should be Jonathan Taylor. It should be Jonathan Taylor. I think.
If I'm putting a vote in, I'm putting Jonathan Taylor.
Oh yeah. If it is a fair MVP race, it's Jonathan Taylor.
Because just
Jonathan
listen to
Taylor. Let me pull this up here. Jonathan Taylor, 270 attempts, 1,518 yards. That is first in the NFL.
Yeah.
17 rushing touchdowns, first in the NFL. He is averaging 5.6 yards every time he carries the ball. That is fifth in the NFL. That's top 5. He even has 36 catches for 336 yards and another 2 touchdowns. That is 19 total touchdowns. That is second in Colts franchise history, I'm pretty sure. I think I think that's second. The Colts franchise touchdown record, I'm pretty sure, is 20.
20.
I'm pretty sure the Colts franchise record in touchdowns is 20.
Do you know who?
I think it's Edgar and James, I'm pretty sure.
Probably.
It might be
It probably is. That's who I think.
No, it's Lenny Moore. Lenny Moore. I mean, he played back in like the 60s. So,
I'm surprised it's not the other guy.
Yeah, I mean that's the Colts franchise record for most touchdowns in a single season, all-purpose touchdown. I mean, besides a quarterback passing, like receiving and rushing touchdowns is 20. Jonathan Taylor is 2 touchdowns away from setting that record. He's going to set that record this year.
He's also averaging 108 yards per game, which is impressive.
He also has the where is that? He is the 5th player in NFL history to score a rushing touchdown in 10 consecutive games.
He even had 5 in one game.
Yeah, he had 5 touchdowns in one game.
Yeah,
I mean, this guy is absolutely insane.
He's having an amazing season.
It is an unbelievable season.
To think, what's even crazier is this is his second year in the NFL.
Yeah.
He was a rookie last year. And now he
is number 1 in fantasy points as well.
Now he's arguably the MVP in his second season.
I think
we haven't seen from Patrick Mahomes. Even Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes won MVP his second year.
He did.
He sat first. He sat first year. He threw 50 touchdowns on MVP.
But we're talking about Patrick Mahomes. He's heralded as one of the best quarterbacks in our game today.
Yes.
And we're talking about a running back right now.
Yeah. No, I think Jonathan Taylor. He's the MVP.
I would agree.
I mean, these stats are insane.
What do you think about Jonathan Taylor having the same odds as Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah, Matthew Stafford, and Patrick Mahomes all have plus 1,000 odds, so they're taking. And then Rodgers has plus 125, and Brady has plus 175.
I don't like that.
I don't think Patrick's anywhere near Jonathan Taylor in the race.
I would agree with you.
So
I wouldn't say.
I think that's
if Patrick didn't
I think him and the Chiefs are heating up right now.
Yes,
obviously, but
it's just the slowest.
If Patrick didn't have the start that he had, then he would be higher on this list.
Right.
But because he was just abysmal for the first 2 or 3 games,
the team was absent.
Yeah.
I just think denying Jonathan Taylor the MVP is just.
That's what they did to Derrick Henry last year.
Oh, I know. And
they did the same thing to Derrick Henry last year. He had basically the exact same season.
Aaron Rodgers was very good last year.
I know, but so was Derrick Henry.
So I mean, yeah.
Here's what I think is going to happen. I think they're going to give it to Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady, but they'll give Offensive Player of the Year to Jonathan Taylor, like they did last.
Offensive Player of the Year will go to Jonathan Taylor,
like they did last year.
He will
with
also
Henry.
have the rushing title as well.
Yes,
I don't even think anybody. I mean, the next closest guy in the rushing title is Joe Mixon,
and the third's Derrick Henry, and he hasn't even played since week 8.
Unreal.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, the second closest player in the rushing title is Joe Mixon. And I think he has like 970 some odd. Taylor's like 600 yards in front of him. There's no way he's going to catch him.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor is going to win the rushing title.
Yes, obviously.
He will probably win Offensive Player of the Year. I think he should win MVP. I think he should win all 3.
Yeah, but I think realistically he's just going to walk out with the Offensive Player of the Year.
Oh no, realistically that's what's going to happen. But I think he should be MVP. I don't understand. I just think it's totally unfair to deny him the MVP award with the season he's having. I mean, it is an unreal season. He is going to have over 21 touchdowns by the time the season is over. 21 touchdowns.
Yeah. As a running back, it's crazy.
He might even reach 2,000 yards rushing. Who knows?
Could.
There's still
he almost has 2,000 all-purpose yards.
I know, that's what I'm saying. And he's very close to 2,000 all-purpose yards. He'll have 2,000 all-purpose yards.
Probably by next week.
He might have 2,000 rushing yards by the end. I mean, there's 4 games left.
If he finishes the season with over 20 touchdowns and over 2,000 rushing yards, you have to give it to him.
I would.
It would be like that would just be like robbery not to.
I agree. I think they're totally robbing him of it as we speak.
I think a big thing also is the record. The Colts right now are 8-6, and they're currently second in the AFC South. Mm-hmm. But if you look at the top two, which is Brady and Rodgers, they're
leading the division.
Aaron Rodgers is 11-3, leading the NFC North, and Brady's 10-4, leading the NFC
the Packers
South.
are the number one team in the NFL.
Exactly,
all over.
I think that's what also helps their case a lot. Is because their team is winning more than the Colts are.
Yeah, I mean the MVP is a lot more than just stats.
I know.
The MVP is stats. It's how your team's doing.
It's also media too, like how the media
portrays you. So I mean, it's probably going to be Brady or Rodgers. I mean, Packers number one in the NFL. They just won the NFC North. The Buccaneers are, I think they're top 5, top 10 in the NFL. Maybe.
I think
they should be second in the division, right? Or no, they might still be first, even though they just lost to
the Bucs.
Yeah, the Bucs.
Yeah, they should still be first.
Yeah, I think they're still first.
They're 10-4.
So I mean, they're a top 4 team. As long as they win out and play well the rest of the season, they'll have a they'll have a division championship. So
I just think it's funny, like Aaron Rodgers, like the last 2 seasons he has had, it's just a complete just slap in the face to Green Bay.
Yeah,
because he was super like mad because they didn't draft any receivers and they drafted his replacement. And then his
replacement is bad.
I know. And then he's going to go out and probably win back-to-back MVPs.
Yeah, he's
probably
going to win the MVP.
And then he just makes that Packers move, and their whole organization just looks stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I think he might stay though.
I think he probably
really
will.
I mean,
realistically, I think he will.
I mean, I think he was going to leave, but I think that he's having fun this year.
Yeah, he's having fun.
And their
and he made it to the NFC Championship last year, and he'll probably do that again.
I think the Packers might go to the Super Bowl.
I think they definitely can.
It'll probably be the Bucs and the. I mean, it'll probably be the Bucs and the.
It depends how the Cardinals and Rams play. Because if they're at their top, they're hard to beat. But I still think the Packers can beat both of them.
Well, the Packers did beat the Cardinals.
Yes.
I think.
I don't trust Matthew
Stafford
enough.
Both of those teams were healthy. I mean, the Cardinals did not have the other.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing is health.
But I mean, but I think. I think the Packers could beat. I mean, the Packers could for sure beat the Rams because for some reason they are not insane. I mean,
they have games where they're insane, and then they have games where you're just like, "What am I watching?"
They're a little inconsistent. I mean, that's what I said.
They've been on a tear the last 2 games, but before that, they had a streak of
And I like the Rams. I mean,
Yeah.
I like the Rams. They got some guys that I like, but it's just I don't know.
Yeah, Stafford had I think it was 3 games with throwing a pick 6.
Yeah,
and then. Yeah, but because during the beginning of the first 4 or 5 games, he was a front runner for MVP. He was going nuts, averaging 400 yards a game, at least 3 touchdowns. Yeah. They were winning.
Well, and see, that's because I remember the first time I watched the Rams this year. I think it was on a Monday night game, and I was really excited to watch them because they had been on a tear throughout the whole season. And I was like, oh, these guys, they got Cooper Kupp, who's ridiculous this year, unbelievable.
Yeah, why he should be on this list too.
I think he should be.
I would put him over Patrick Mahomes. I think he's been more impressive than Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, okay.
I know you don't want to put probably 2 Rams players, but Cooper Kupp is arguably having the best wide receiver season.
I would put Cooper Kupp over Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, I would too.
But no, like I was saying though, I was excited to watch him play, and I watched them play on Monday night, and they sucked.
Who'd they play?
I can't remember. It was a while ago. They sucked.
Didn't they play the Bucs and he had and he went off against the Bucs?
I can't remember.
I
can't remember honestly. But I know I know there were 3 times they had primetime games and I watched them and they sucked all 3. So I'm like, what? I mean, they're a little bit inconsistent, but they've picked it up now. They're playing very well now. So, but back to Cooper Kupp though. My MVP, if it was me, I would have Rodgers, Brady, Taylor, Kupp,
and Mahomes,
or
would you put Stafford?
I would say Stafford because Mahomes had a slow start, but Mahomes is picking up and Stafford's kind of
declining a little bit. Yeah.
So that's why
it's a tough one.
Those 2 are about tied. I mean, honestly, if it was me, the winner would be Jonathan Taylor, and then it would be probably Rodgers, Brady, and Kupp. I mean, I think Kupp should at least be in the
Yeah,
consideration.
he should be in consideration.
I mean,
He's
at
leading the
least.
NFL in receptions, yards, and touchdowns.
Yeah, he is.
Isn't he about to break the the receiving? Is he on pace to break the touchdown record or receiving record?
Probably both.
Or receiving yards?
Probably
both.
I mean,
And that hasn't been done since Randy Moss, right? Isn't it Randy Moss? Randy Moss's record, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.